Hello, Guy Landry.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. You speak French and English, and we'll do this dialogue that I will listen to you, to your stories from CIOFF. How did you arrive to act with the folklore, intangible things? You are from Canada.
Yeah. I start when I was 20 years to be dancing international dance. And I started at university to organize some groups that were dancing together. Coming from this starting and follow different workshop, I become a teacher of dance. And folk dance, international folk dance, all kind of folk dance. There is a movement in Canada, Israel too. You have that the people that are doing international dance, the dance of different country. From that, I organize in a church a kind of school of dance for the children, and we were having around 300 children each weekend that were coming with different teachers. So, all the organization patterns to make it work with different teachers. So that was my first commitment that I have made. And I'm doing that because I was loving to dance. I was loving to teach. I was loving to share with the people. During that time, I was working with the City of Montreal, and I was responsible of recreation, the organization of the leisure for the people of the City of Montreal, skating rink, park, cultural center, all these activities. So I was working in that field. So my hobby was the dance, and my work was organize the recreation for the people.
And if I'll ask you, what is the Canadian folk dance? What is the tradition?
Yeah, okay, the tradition in Canada, what we call it, we consider what are the founding group or cultural group that's arrived. Like we could say first, the first one are the Amérindiens. Amérindiens is the how could I use that? I'm trying to find the word because they don't want us to call them, but in English it's more difficult. It's the first people that were there when we arrived.
Oh,
the autochtone that was there, and so that's one part. The other part of that was there was the Eskimo or the Inuit. So that's the two first group that were there when we arrived, when the French arrived and the English arrived. And so we consider that the French, the English, the Scottish are part of the founding the new country, to develop the new country, to go further. So that's what we call the first group that could represent Canada when we are talking on specific. Like the French, when they arrived there, they were dancing, French dancing, but they mix with the Scottish and the Irish, and they create their own folklore, and with some influence of the myths of the Indian that were there. So that's what we call, that is more typical. And just to give you an idea on that aspect, I have made research too. I went to some French-Canadian village, and I make research on the dance, on the song, on the music, on the story that they have. So and that was my hobby, all these things, the dance, and my work was working for the recreation.
what is typical to the ancient inhabitants? tenants that lived in Canada before the French and the English came.
What is the
What they did, how they danced, you know?
I don't know very much because it's more ceremonial, it's more relate to talking to the spirit, it's more like and it's different group of two. Like in British Columbia, it is more totem story relate to totem. Yes. And so a different part was having different kind of dance across Canada, but not the same. It was different tribal group having their own repertory, their own god, having their own way to do things.
Wow, interesting. That made you to be interested in investigating the tradition and to keep it.
Yeah, yeah.
That
was one of the.
That was the reason that you dedicated a lot of years of your life to keep and to teach the tradition.
Yeah, yeah. That was some of my interest with really the dance. The pleasure to dance, and the pleasure to have fun with the people.
Okay, thank you very much, Landry from Canada.
That's my first part.